Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Generation in Between, a Xennial Podcast where we remember, revisit, and sometimes relearn all kinds of things about being 80s kids and 90s teens. My name is Dani.
Hi, I'm Katie.
And today our topic is our second installment, yes, of our TGIF series. And we are going to talk about the TV show Family Matters.
Yay!
Yay!
Which, despite popular opinion, is not the Urkel show.
No.
Well, it is and it isn't.
Well,
we'll get into it.
It did eventually kind of become that, but it has always been called Family Matters.
Yes.
So, did you watch this show?
Yes.
Okay. And did you like this show?
This is the difference I realized when I was rewatching some of the episodes we picked between this and Full House.
Okay.
I've rewatched a lot of Full House and then Fuller House in the years since it originally aired. Right. But Family Matters, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
I watched it when it originally aired, and I really haven't seen it again since then. So I think 2 or 3 of the episodes we watched for today, I vaguely remember, and then some I don't remember at all.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, we did watch several episodes, and there's reasons why we watched more for this one than we did Full House, and there's reasons why, and we'll get there. I did not watch the end of Family Matters. Like the last couple seasons, I was not.
Like the series finale, which is part of what we watched, the 2-parter, I had never seen. I'm pretty sure I've never seen.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that, everyone, when we get there. So, okay, let's just jump right in. So I'm going to tell you what Family Matters is if you've never heard of it, if you've never watched it, or you just don't remember. It was a spinoff, which we talked about on the Full House. I know we talked about on our TGIF episode. It's a spinoff of the show Perfect Strangers, also on CBS. No, ABC.
ABC.
Might be. CBS does come into play later, guys. Okay. It was created by William Bickley and Michael Warren. We said this already. And it revolves around the Winslow family, which was a Black middle-class family living in Chicago, Illinois. So just to remind you, Katie told us about how the spinoff created Harriet Winslow was on Perfect Strangers. She was a character that worked at the newspaper where Larry and Balky worked. She was the elevator operator.
I couldn't quite remember.
I don't remember what you said, but I was like, that's wrong.
I said she worked in the mail room. No. I don't know why.
She was the elevator operator back when that was a job. Like those are gone now. Like do they still have elevator?
Just to be fancy some places.
Do they?
But probably not at like a newspaper.
I mean, I'd never say anywhere fancy.
I could just see that in like, I don't know, buildings in Manhattan or something.
Katie's like, I'm just guessing.
I also guessed that she worked in the mailroom, which was wrong. So
yeah. And I mean, I also don't really travel much. So, and when I do, I go nowhere that has people being paid to press buttons. So anyways, so Harriet's husband, Carl Winslow, also had appearances on Perfect Strangers, where he was a Chicago police officer. But ABC and the producers loved Harriet for her quick morale. What does that mean?
It's just always right there. She could just access it in a moment's notice.
For her great morale and quick-witted humor is what they said.
Got it.
So they wanted to create a whole show that focused on her and her whole family. So of course they're going to bring in Carl, then they're going to bring in her son Eddie, her eldest daughter Laura, and her younger daughter Judy. Fun fact, real quick, Judy was not there the whole series. And she did not have some big write-off moment. She basically got sent up to her room in the season 4 finale and just was forgotten after that. They never explained where she went.
That's so wild.
Yeah. Apparently there was like her mom was like her manager, and apparently there was some like disputing stuff with her contract and money, and she never really had storylines and stuff. And so I couldn't find anything clear about why she left, but they never gave her a proper exit.
And she was 2 different girls.
So they had one actress play her in the pilot, but that was it.
Okay. Because then when we skipped ahead to the next one, I was like, oh, that's not the same actress.
The little girl that was in the pilot, that was her only episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Then it was the other actress who we'll get to. And she has some stuff. So
Ooh.
yeah. So Family Matters was on for 8 seasons from September 22nd, 1989 to May 9th, 1997.
Wow.
Then moved to CBS for its 9th and final season, which went way weird. It was like the finale, the 2-part finale was like so bad.
What? Yeah.
And that was September 19th, 97 to July 17th, 1998. So we're just going to talk a little bit about the show. I think I organized it, ?
Yay.
But you know me, it's going to be random stuff
do
thrown in and out. So the pilot episode had Carl's mom, Estelle, join the family, who they called Mother Winslow. And then you also meet Harriet's sister, Rachel, who had also just moved in recently with her infant son, Richie, because her husband died. Here we go with widows again.
Yeah. And I felt like they addressed that so flippantly.
Oh, yeah.
She was like, when your uncle died and I moved in here. Well, anyway.
Anyway.
Hello?
It was hard and that's it.
Yeah.
And I don't think they talk about it much ever again.
Mm-mm.
Maybe they do. And it's just, I don't remember that. But yeah, more widows. ABC loves their widows in a sitcom. They got to be somewhere. So here's the thing. Steve Urkel is who people know the most from this show. He was originally introduced on episode 12 of the first season. He was only supposed to be in 10 episodes only, but he was such a hit that producers went back and reshot opening scenes for 4 episodes to have him in there. So some scenes don't really make sense. Like you see him somewhere, like they recut it. So when the reruns would go, you would see Urkel.
Oh.
Yeah.
So originally they didn't air that way.
Correct.
Wow.
That was how they were originally shot. So what you see in syndication is not what originally aired in the late 80s.
That's wild.
Isn't that weird?
It kind of makes sense for an intro sequence though, because
not just an intro sequence. They did the intro sequence, but then they also filmed a few scenes to put into the episodes.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I can't remember the one I read about. Like he was in the shower or something like that. I don't know. It wasn't, I don't remember the detail of it, but yeah. So then in syndication, instead of being introduced in episode 12, he's introduced in episode 4 with their reshot scenes.
So in real time, no one met him until halfway through season 1 ish.
Yeah.
But if you were to rewatch it now, which is what we were doing,
or even the reruns when they were on air, you'd see something different. You'd meet him way earlier.
Wow.
I know. That's how much Urkel power there is, guys.
Urkel power.
Because he was, by the time season 2 came about, he was officially part of the main cast.
Okay.
Period. From then on. So the theme song is also something that was different. Do you remember what the OG theme song was?
It wasn't the Days Go By one? No.
It was Louis Armstrong's What a Wonderful World.
I do not remember that.
I did remember that because I remember when I went to watch it, I was like, wait, I thought that Louis Armstrong song was in the beginning. It was the 5th episode of season 1 when they changed it. But then when they went back, the second theme song, As Days Go By, they went and added it in syndication. So none of the episodes you'll watch have the OG theme song.
Okay.
Even though it did have that. So that, As Days Go By, stayed the theme song until 1995. And then it went themeless, which is super weird. I know. The producers decided they're going to have no theme song at all. And they also were creditless in the beginning. You know how it would show like the people like as a little song went? Yeah. The names of the cast and creators ran during the teaser scene. And that's it. Like at the end.
And then you go to commercial and come back and it's just a show?
Well, you know, if you think about it, you can think of some other sitcoms that didn't have like it just led into the show.
Yeah.
And that was it.
I wonder why though, because that theme song specifically is so iconic and tied to the show.
I know.
Like for why?
I don't know. So remember you were wondering when we were talking about the show if they filmed in Chicago? So the answer is no. They filmed mostly on a soundstage in Burbank, California, but some of the exterior scenes were shot in Chicago, including the iconic shot of the house.
Okay.
The house was 1516 West Wrightwood Avenue. The only reason I'm telling you the address is because it was demolished to make condominiums a few years back.
Aww.
And what year was that? I didn't write it down. So they tore it down.
That's a bummer.
I know. Gentrification at its finest. So anyway, so that house was a real house.
Okay.
But everything else was a soundstage.
But the inside of the house was not.
No.
Right. Kind of like with Full House.
Like Full House. Yeah. Yeah. I think that was probably pretty commonplace. So Family Matters actually is the third longest running live action American sitcom with a predominantly African American cast. They had 215 episodes over 9 seasons. The other two that are ahead of them are the Jeffersons. They had 253 episodes. And this surprised me. Tyler Perry's House of Pain had 355 episodes.
Cosby Show's not in there?
No. They had, I looked it up. They were less than Family Matters.
Wow.
Which is surprising.
That is surprising.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So Family Matters also was the last, this is interesting too, live action scripted primetime show that debuted in the 80s to end its run. Like they had the longest running that started in the 80s. The only scripted shows that started in the 80s and have lasted longer in continuous production. You want to guess? There's
Simpsons.
2. The Simpsons is one.
And is it a sitcom or just a show?
It's just a show.
Law and Order?
No, Bold and the Beautiful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's a good guess.
Yeah.
Law and Order is good. I think that Law and Order wasn't until the 90s.
I think you're right. Yeah. It was a little later.
So yeah, The Simpsons is the top and then Bold and the Beautiful.
Okay.
But I just thought that was interesting. But Family Matters was, wait a minute. What year did I say? Hold on. 87. Yeah. Which is crazy because I thought it was later than that.
So did I. I thought it was like squarely in the 90s.
No. Okay, so let's talk about the actors for a minute, and then we'll talk about some more random facts. So I'm going to start with the lady who brought about the show to begin with, is Jo Marie Payton, who played Harriet. Her big break for TV was in Perfect Strangers. And that was also in 1987. But she was in a lot of other 80s movies and TV shows. For instance, she was in Troop Beverly Hills, Small Wonder, Silver Spoons, 227, and then some shows in the 90s, like Moesha, Seventh Heaven, The Jamie Foxx Show, and Will and Grace. So you've seen her in lots of other shows.
Yeah.
And that goes for a lot of the actors actually in this show. Actually, a lot of 80s, 90s sitcoms. They were kind of all, and you'll notice
everywhere
with these actors in particular, a lot of the ones they share, you'll see.
Okay.
She actually was a very accomplished singer. That's also a common thread with several actresses on the show. She got her start with musicals.
Let's go.
Yeah. When she graduated college, she was in a national touring company of a musical by the name of Pearly. Do you know that show? Neither. But yeah, she was on national tour for that.
That's very cool.
I know. And plus, this was a fun Disney fact. She was the voice of Sugar Mama on Disney Channel's The Proud Family, both when it first came on in 2001 and then for the revival in 2022. So,
okay.
Yeah. I was like, I know her from a cartoon. What cartoon? And then when I saw The Proud Family, I was like, oh, that's it. Because Kaden used to watch that. So, okay. So that's Jo Marie Payton. Then we're going to move on to Carl, who's the guy who played Carl. Do you remember one of the classic 80s movies he was in?
Is he in Die Hard?
He's in Die Hard and Die Hard 2.
Okay.
Yes.
And he's a cop.
Yeah. So fun fact is he actually played a cop lots of times. He was a cop in Family Matters, Ghostbusters, Die Hard 2, and Turner and Hooch.
Oh my God. I forgot about Turner and Hooch.
He also did the voice for his police officer character, Al Powell, in the 2 Die Hard video games.
Oh my God.
So he is typecast.
Great.
I hear a phone ringing.
I think it's mine.
I think.
Oh no, it might be.
It
Actually,
might be mine.
It might be yours.
Well, I'll check it if it rings again. So, okay. So he played a cop in all those. He was also in Crocodile Dundee. He was a driver.
Oh, that's great.
Yes. Girl, don't get sucked into that phone.
It's my daughter, and
Oh, is
she's
she okay?
driving people. So sorry.
Is she okay?
Yeah.
We gonna pause for a second so everybody can make sure everybody's safe.
I will edit it. You just have
No,
to
you're
remind
fine.
me.
Look, this is real time.
This is real time.
Making sure people are safe. Life don't stop when you're recording a podcast, guys.
I mean,
especially when you don't get paid to be here.
That's true. That is true. All right. Well, she's answering a question, but it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he was in Crocodile Dundee, like I said. He also had lots of guest roles on 90s shows like Tales from the Crypt, Dream On, also Will and Grace, Diagnosis Murder, and The Hughleys. So you've seen him around. This was an interesting thing that I read, that even though he convincingly and frequently played not only a husband but a father, he has never been either of those in real life.
Really?
I know.
He's never been married.
Nope. Never had kids.
Wow.
He just gives out energy.
He really does.
I know.
Yeah.
He's a good actor, I guess.
And probably never been a real cop either.
Well, obviously.
So
I mean, I figured that goes without saying.
He's just good at all the things that they make him be on screen.
Correct.
That's awesome.
So those are the parents.
Okay.
So now let's move on to the kids. First, we're going to talk about Eddie, the oldest, Darius McCurry, who, full confession, I had a huge crush on.
He's adorable.
Huge. He still is, by the way.
Is he? I haven't looked him up.
Unfortunately, he does have some problematic things, but
man.
Yeah. He got his big break in the 80s in a movie called Big Shots. Have you ever heard of this?
Mm-mm.
It's like a kids comedy movie. I had never heard of it. I watched the trailer. It looks like a fun 80s romp. So we may have to just go down that road one day. But he had lots of guest roles too in his young acting career on 80s shows like Amen. Remember that show?
Mm-hmm.
What's Happening Now? Hooperman, which I don't know what that is.
Hooperman, no. It sounds like basketball related.
Yeah. He was also in the TV movie Mississippi Burning in 1988. Or wait, no, that was not a TV movie. That was a regular. That was a regular cinematic movie. In 97, he played Muhammad Ali in a made-for-TV movie about Don King.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was the voice of a Transformer in the 2000 movie. He was Jazz, and he played Malcolm in The Young and the Restless from 2009 to 2011.
Okay.
I had to throw that in. I know that's a little past our Xennial time, but that's pretty iconic.
I love a soap opera moment.
I threw it in because he has so many acting credits since his beginning, and he's still acting.
Wow. So
he just kept the ball rolling. He's also a songwriter and a music producer. So he is also musically gifted.
Okay.
As well as Joe Marie Payton. Like I said, unfortunately, he's had some legal battles over the years over things like child support and suspected domestic abuse. And some substance abuse things.
Yikes.
I didn't go into super detail just because,
you get the idea.
But he got some stuff, guys.
Okay.
As we all do.
Do we? Do we all have those things?
I mean, I guess as they all do in the Hollywood land. A lot of people got. I mean, I'm not excusing it. I'm just saying it's.
No, it pops up a lot.
It pops up a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't mean, Katie and I have child support problems.
All our substance use issues.
As is frequented, that comes up when we talk about celebrities. Let me put it that way. Okay, so that's Eddie. Let's move on to Laura.
Yay.
Kelly Williams is her name. She's mostly known from Family Matters, but she also had lots of guest roles in the 90s. She was on Oddville, which was on MTV. She was on Moesha, on the show Girlfriend. She was on The Parkers, and she played Alice on a short-lived TV show called What About Joan? And it was on in 2000 to 2001 after Family Matters. Yeah,
okay.
I've never heard about it. She was also in smaller movies like the movie Ride in 98, In the Mix, and Steppin', the movie in the 2000s.
I love that movie.
Yeah. So she actually got her start as a kid's fashion model. And she's got a great smile and she's adorable. So of course she did.
And like by the end of the series, they were making her super fashionable.
I know.
Like the way she was dressed. I noticed that, like her hair and stuff. I was like, okay.
And it was so of the times. I loved it.
I could see that like that's how she got her start.
Yeah. So she was a kid's fashion model. And the funny thing I read about her was even though she played Eddie's younger sister, she was 1 month older than him in real life. But she looks so much younger.
She does.
It's because she's short. and he's super tall. So, well, not super, but he's tall.
He's tall. Yeah.
Yeah. Her and Jaleel White were real friends on the set because they were the same age. And they shared a tutor, like a school tutor, and they had lunch together every day.
That's really sweet.
I know.
Oh,
I thought that was cute. And so then let's talk about Judy.
Okay.
Her name is Jamie Foxworth. And like I said, there was one actress that played Judy on the pilot. Her name was Valerie Jones. And then she was gone. I don't know why.
Maybe she cried like the Michelles.
Maybe. Jamie Foxworth, though, had some guest roles on TVs and TVs. I mean, yes.
On the TVs.
You saw her on the TVs. She was also on Amen.
Okay.
She was on TV 101. Do you know what that is?
No idea.
Same. But she was only on Family Matters for 4 seasons. Like I said, she got sent to her room and never came back.
That's rough.
Like what? She was actually in a R&B girl group called She, S period, H period, E period.
Oh,
She.
I know. Yeah.
You know that?
I remember that. I have no idea what they sing, but that is ringing a bell.
It was her and her 2 sisters, her real life sisters. The album was called Three's a Charm. And it was released in 1997 on Shaquille O'Neal's record label.
This is
the 90s thing. I know.
Like 90s. Band with your sisters and the S.H.E. Also Shaquille O'Neal's record label.
Yeah.
Come on.
But she kind of got a little infamy under her belt because from 2000 to 2002, she was making porn.
What?
Under the name Crave. And then not long after that, she was on the MTV show Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew to get help with her marijuana addiction. So she ran into some hard times, but I'm happy to say she's doing well now.
Good.
But yeah, that was kind of her infamy moment. And when I looked at her IMDb, I was like, what is all this? It was like I was like, what are these films? And then I was like, oh, because
how old would she have been then?
I mean, she was of age,
but young.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but because I mean, she
like
she was of age.
10-ish on the show.
I mean, she was only there for 4 seasons and then she left.
She went to her room, Dani. She's still there. Okay.
So that was her little piece. I was like, I did not expect to find that. Okay. So now we're getting to Jaleel White.
Yes.
Who played Steve Urkel. So before Family Matters, which is what put him on the map, he also had guest roles on TV shows like The Jeffersons. He was on The Magical World of Disney, Mr. Belvedere.
Let's go.
And a show called Cadets. He also had guest roles in the 90s on shows, some as Urkel and some not as Urkel, but he had a lot of crossovers. Like they like to cross universes or whatever. So he was on Full House. He was on a show called Migo, which we talked about. Step by Step, Fresh Prince, Diagnosis Murder. He was in the movie Big Fat Liar with Frankie Muniz in 2002.
Oh, yeah.
He was in Dreamgirls in 2006.
Yep. I remember him from Dreamgirls.
He's also done a lot of other roles in voiceover work that it was not big stuff, but he was the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog in 3 cartoon series in the 90s.
Oh.
Cooper knew that. I was like, oh, I didn't know you knew that. But before his Steve Urkel audition, this was super funny. He was trying to find, like, guys, remember, this was before Amazon, okay? Before online shopping. He was trying to find a pair of like the classic nerdy glasses to wear to his audition, like the black frames with the tape, and he couldn't find any. So his dad, who was a dentist, gave him the glasses that he used to wear to keep particles out of his eyes before they had like the goggle thingies. And so he was like, okay, I'll wear them and I'll find another one at a different time. I'll just wear them for my audition. But the producers loved him so much. Those are the kind of glasses they kept him in.
Oh,
not the black frames.
Right.
You know, he had like the brown.
Yeah. That was like really big.
Isn't that funny?
I love that.
So dentist glasses inspired his look. He was originally cast as Rudy on The Cosby Show. Yes, Rudy was originally going to be a boy.
Okay.
But they kept the name Rudy.
Yeah.
But Bill Cosby decided last minute to make the character a girl. Like he was cast and he was on his way to filming and they changed it.
Oh, that sucks. Although, he got to be Urkel.
I know. He almost also got cast as a main character on Saved by the Bell.
Really?
Yep.
That
I don't know if it was
good.
like a named character or not, but yeah. The only controversial thing I found about, well, no, actually lies. Another one's going to come up later. One of the things that I found in more recent years of him, he was on Dancing with the Stars in 2012, and apparently he was pretty ugly to his partner at the time, and then some of the other people around him. But I'm going to chalk that up to him being young, and because he has apologized for that since.
Yeah. I follow him on Instagram now, and I just find him so entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, I think he had maybe a diva moment.
I think he did.
And it comes up again.
And he's a parent now, I think. Yeah. And so like a lot of his content, like there is some funny stuff, but sometimes it's just him like whatever. Man. And if he goes to like 90s cons and stuff, and so he'll post pictures with like people from Saved by the Bell or like Full House stars or whatever. I don't know. He's just kind of fun to watch. And he's cute.
Yeah, he's a good looking kid.
Good looking, yeah.
I say kid, he's a grown ass man. Like probably close to our age.
Yeah, he is.
But anyway, so we're gonna talk more about him in a minute, but we have 2 more characters to chat about. And that is Mother Winslow.
Of course.
And Aunt Rachel.
Of course.
You say aunt or aunt?
I say aunt.
You do. I say
But
aunt.
when I talk about mine, I say aunt.
Oh, really?
But for some reason with that one, I say Aunt Rachel.
And then some people say auntie.
I don't say that.
You don't?
No.
Okay. Wow, she was feeling things about that word.
I guess I had a diva moment. Sorry,
okay,
everyone.
She's like, I don't say that. Okay, Katie. All right, so Mother Winslow was played by Rosetta Lenore, which is just a fun name.
That's adorable.
She was around a while, and she had quite the career. She was on tons of TV shows, and she was in lots of plays. She worked in theater. From the 60s and 70s and early 80s, things that we would know. She was on Guiding Light. She was on Fantasy Island, Sesame Street, Tales from the Dark Side, Give Me a Break, and Amen. She died in 2002. So, but she worked a long time. Her godfather was the famous tap dancer, Bill Bojangles Robinson.
Stop. That was her godfather?
That was her godfather.
Oh, wow.
Also, she was in the landmark all-black version of Macbeth, directed by Orson Welles in 1936.
What?
She was a young actress. Yes. She played the first witch.
Okay.
In case you know that show, the play. I said show.
You know that show.
That show.
Macbeth.
Another interesting fact about her, she took care of James Earl Jones as an infant. She was like his babysitter when she was a member of his father's acting troupe. I know. So when I tell you she had quite the career, like quite the career.
That's like so many intersecting circles of people.
I know. And I remember watching when we were rewatching these episodes thinking what a natural actor she was. And all of them really, but her notably. I was like, you just think she's Mother Winslow.
Yeah.
Literally. So that's her background. So let's talk about Aunt Rachel, Auntie Rachel, whatevs. That was played by Thelma Hopkins. Some of the things you saw her in, she was in Roots, The Next Generations. She was in the show Bosom Buddies. Do you remember that show?
Uh-huh.
She was also, and these are all like guest roles. She was in Fantasy Island, The Love Boat, Give Me a Break, Amen. The reason that you're hearing some of the same shows is because those are predominantly African-American shows and there weren't a whole lot of them then. So the reason why all of these Black actors were on some of the same shows is because there weren't
that many. Yeah.
So I meant to say that earlier. She was in all 3 Trancers movies, and I have never heard of them. But
there were 3.
1984, 1991, and 1992. Yes.
Is it horror?
I didn't even look it up.
Oh.
I don't know. I figured somebody might know what they were.
Yeah, someone tell us.
She was also in the TV series Getting By from 93 to 94. She actually left Family Matters to film this. And then when it got canceled, she came back, but only as like a guest role here and there. She wasn't a recurring character every episode. Because they were probably like, okay, we'll let you come back a little bit, but you like left us. And
yeah, that's kind of awkward.
But I mean, she had to shoot her shot.
She did.
So anyway, she also had some guest roles on ER and The Nanny and also The Hughleys. So another musically talented actress. She was probably still is, half of the singing group, Tony Orlando and Dawn. She was Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Before joining, she was a top background singer in the Detroit area. She sang background vocals on albums for, listen to this list, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, Wilson Pickett, Isaac Hayes, Dionne Warwick, and the Four Tops.
Wow. See, I don't know how, but I somehow knew she was a musician.
Well, there's a scene at the end of the first
But they're
episode
all
where
singing.
Well, it was her and Harriet and
Mother
Winslow
Winslow
at first, and then they all
joined. But I'm just saying, like, I didn't necessarily know the other ones were also musicians, but I always knew she was.
So I was like, dang, she had quite the career as a background vocalist. And then another fun little fact, she played Jo Marie Payton's younger sister, but in real life, she is a year and a half older than her.
Oh, okay.
Which is funny.
That is funny.
But, they do things to make you look older and younger and,
Right. Like, just even their hairstyles.
Of course.
Like, hers looked younger than Harriet's. Yeah.
So those are the actors and actresses.
Okay.
Let's talk about how the show ended, and then we'll talk about some of the controversies and all of that. So we already addressed this a little bit on our TGIF intro episode. So in 1997, Family Matters left ABC. So Miller Boyett, back again.
I'm back again.
They agreed to a $40 million offer from CBS for a 22-episode season for both Family Matters and Step by Step. And CBS scheduled Family Matters along with the show Migo, who, did we look that up?
No.
It just sounds weird. Migo. I don't know what that is. And Step by Step as part of the new Friday night lineup to compete with TGIF. And they called it Block Party. Yes. They scheduled it against the shows on TGIF.
Okay.
So they wanted to compete. Didn't go so well. So anyway, interesting pieces of the puzzle here. Jo Marie Payton, who played Harriet, sorry. I keep thinking of How I Married an Axe Murderer.
Oh, yeah.
He's Harriet. He sings that song.
Yeah.
Harriet. Okay, sorry. Her contract had just ended, had just expired, and she was really reluctant to continue because the show, she thought, had jumped shark. With the show went from being focused about the Winslow family to being about Urkel and all his crazy stuff. We talked about that a little bit on TGIF intro episode, but she said, okay, I'll stay just to keep continuity, but she left mid-season, that ninth season, because reportedly there was a tiff between her and Jaleel White while they were filming an episode. The episode was called Original Gangsta Dog.
Oh no. Where
he is playing, I think it was like Urkel's cousin or something. So Jaleel White was playing him, but they had an altercation. It was rumored to have escalated to the point where Darius McCreary had to separate them. They were just disagreeing about something that Urkel was doing with his character, or I don't know. And she had enough. And she said, okay, I'm done. I'm done. She wanted to be done anyway. And then it was like, okay, after that, she was like, I'm out of here. She did come back for one more episode after that. She came back for a Christmas episode called Deck the Malls.
Oh, I love it.
Which was season 9, episode 11. And that episode also brought back several other former characters from the ABC run. So brought them in to the CBS run for that little Christmassy episode. And they brought them back, it's characters who were written out when they made the transfer. So they were like, oh, here, you get one little shot just to show that we're still the same show.
Oh,
even though it's not. But then after that one, she was replaced with Judy Ann Elder for the remainder of the season.
Okay.
And I mean,
I know.
We'll talk about it when we get to that episode.
Same thought.
She wasn't the same, guys.
She's not even the same vibe.
Well, and it's not even her fault. Like,
no, it's not
after
her fault.
You have set this character in motion for 9.5 seasons, and then you're thrown into it, you're never, you can't be the same. It's like Aunt Viv on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, I guess.
It was the same
I don't know.
thing.
I just don't even think they tried very hard.
I know. It doesn't, I don't think
she seems like a fine actress, but there's certain actors for certain roles. And I was watching her going, this is the only person they could find to do this.
Not like her whole character was different.
Exactly.
Like her sassiness was gone.
No, she was very just muted.
Yeah.
That's what
It was very different.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the first little kerfuffle I saw about. And so I saw that she said in an interview years later in 2010, she said she just wanted something else to do just to energize me a little bit more on the creative side. There were some things being said, and like I said, just ignore it because you know it's not true, but it did hurt because it made me look like a scandalous person that was jealous of this kid. So there's definitely some stuff happening there. She didn't really directly address it.
Right.
I don't think Jaleel White has really either. I think he said he was kind of a dumb kid and, you know.
I'm sure he would look back on it and be like, ugh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was being silly.
Yeah. And so, though it was never produced, there was a 10th season storyline already in place. Steve Urkel and Laura getting married. Because as you know, when the series ended, they were disengaged. Yes. So the next season was going to about them getting married and blah, blah, blah. But then it didn't happen.
Okay.
But that's not the end of the story.
Oh.
Because on September 1st,
September 1st.
There it is.
Hello.
2021.
Oh.
Yeah. It was announced that an animated, your favorite, oh, her eyes. I said animated. She was like, get out. No. Christmas film, Urkel Saves Santa, the movie, originally titled, Did I Do That to the Holidays? A Steve Urkel story.
Get out of here right now.
It was planned to air on the Cartoon Network as part of the block Acme Night in 2022. Then it was set to be released on HBO Max. However, in August of 2022, it was announced it would not be moving forward on HBO Max and would be shopped elsewhere as a result of the Warner Brothers Discovery merger. But don't be despaired, Katie, because you can find the film on digital streaming services because it was released on November 21st, 2023. You can watch. What is it called?
I don't
know. Urkel Saves Santa, the animated movie adventure. That's how it's called. It's called Urkel Saves Santa because I looked it up. I was like, oh, this looks awful. It's not even good animation, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Sorry, shade to the animators out there. But it looks like it's just so commercials.
Just commercialized. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, that's how it ended. So.
Okay. Well.
So now just some random shit that I found. Okay. So
okay.
In no particular order, my friends, as I do in my brain. So fun fact fun fact I saw. Reginald Vell Johnson and Jaleel White both actually wrote some for the show.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know when or what episodes, but they did take a stab at writing. So that's kind of fun. Michelle Thomas, who played Myra.
Yes.
This is actually very sad. Now, she did have a little cameo in the finale. But she was on the show quite a bit after because she was in love with Urkel, right? And she was jealous of Laura all the time. She actually had to leave the show due to stomach cancer.
Oh my God.
She passed away shortly before it was canceled, and she died the same year that it was canceled. She was only 30.
Oh my God.
And I did notice when she came back on the final episode, she did look much thinner.
I noticed
and
that
not like herself.
Too. But then I was like, oh, I've kind of forgot about her. So maybe I'm just misremembering. But I did notice how thin she looked. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's sad.
That's awful.
I know. It's very sad. But that's why she had to leave the show. And she did pass away. So speaking of appearances on the show, and to transition us out of that sad tidbit, guess who was the only character to appear in every single episode?
Oh. Was it Mother Winslow?
No. I'll give you another shot.
Laura.
No, it was Carl.
I was going to say him, but that seemed too obvious.
In every episode.
That's awesome.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
But I do feel kind of bad for him. Like, dang, he just never got time off. They're like, okay, you're not in this week's episode. And they're like, Carl. And he's like, well, okay. Never get a day off.
Yeah, never a day off. It's like, well, oh, look, I'm going to get a sports analogy.
Oh.
No, it's like when, like a pitcher's throwing, hitter. and then it's like you got to keep doing all the exact same things you're doing.
Yeah.
Don't change anything. So it's kind of like with that too. It's like, wait, Carl's not in this episode. Get him in here, like right away, right in one scene that he's in. You know.
You know what? Okay, since we're talking about Carl, there is something you have to look up and watch. It's like a 4-minute, 5-minute thing. It's nothing long. Key and Peele did a Family Matters skit years back when it was in 2014 on their show.
Okay.
Mocking how the show shifted from being like a family oriented show, realistic like sitcom show, to the crazy like Urkel oriented fantasy crap. It is hilarious.
Okay, I'm gonna watch that.
It's so funny. Basically like Carl comes in and he's like cursing at the producer. He's like, what the fuck is this show? Like, why? This doesn't even make sense. And then Urkel comes in. He ends up shooting that. It's crazy. It's like outlandish. It's so funny. Anyway, look it up, guys. Key and Peele skit. I didn't write what it's called. But Jaleel White actually admitted that he found it to be quite hilarious and kind of accurate.
It's like, but it's true.
I mean, it kind of happened. Speaking of filming, a lot of the sets used for the scenes inside the house were also used in the series Valerie, after it became the Hogan family, and Step by Step.
I can see the kitchen now that you say that, but I'm not sure about the living room.
I don't know which parts of the set, but I just said sets used for scenes in the house.
I'm just thinking about it.
So that could be bedrooms. That could be who knows what. I mean, I could see the kitchen, right? Because
the kitchen for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So let me tell you a little fact about how Jaleel White's character got his name, and it's super funny. The show's co-creator, Michael Warren, named the character after a friend of his named Steve Urkel with an E.
Okay.
And remember, Steve Urkel was only supposed to be on the show for 10 episodes. That's it. So it was supposed to be like little, haha, here it is. Like, so his friend would think it was funny.
So his last name started with an E?
Yeah, instead of a U.
Instead of a U. Okay.
So he did not foresee the problems his friend would end up having, though, once Steve Urkel became like this pop culture phenomenon.
Oh my gosh.
Including the numerous prank calls he used to get before caller ID existed.
Oh no.
Isn't that hilarious?
Would you be so mad at your friend for that?
You're like, why did you fucking do that, Michael?
Of all the names,
Michael.
Why Michael? Why?
Michael.
Oh my God, that's
great.
Oh
my God, I know. I thought that was funny. Also, speaking of Urkel, he was on this show during a very weird time in his life because he went through puberty and became a man on this show. So they had to kind of adjust. They had to tell him to wear looser pants.
Oh.
So his growing male parts would not show as much. They told him not to lift a lot of weights because they didn't want him getting too bulky. And they told him he had to shave every day.
Yeah.
So he would keep with that youthful...
Yeah, kind of like gangly kind of feel.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, well, you got to devote to your character.
Look, yeah, people do all sorts of things to look like their character. For
that's pretty mild. Hey, don't lift weights and shave every day.
Don't lift weights and please shave.
Don't let your wang show through your jeans. Like
it's the least you can do.
That's pretty easy.
They're all within your control, I feel like.
Yes. Oh, yeah, for sure. And there was, speaking of Urkel, guys, if you remember, there was tons of Urkel merch because capitalism. Y'all, he had posters, books, lunch boxes, clothes, trading cards. He had a talking doll, and guess what it said?
Did I do that?
Hey!
I got one right on the spot.
Also, good voice. I
Thank
think you fixed your Kermit. That what is it?
That's what I'm saying.
It redeemed you.
It redeemed me.
Redeemed you.
It redeemed me.
Hire for voiceover acting now.
I can do one voice. Steve Urkel. Okay.
And Kermit with a southern accent.
And Kermit when he's like in disguise in a cowboy hat. I could do that. If you need either of those, call me up.
Done. Oh my God, I hate this new mascara.
Why? What's it doing?
I'm laughing so hard. My lashes just stuck together. It sucks. If I could remember the name, I would blast it right now. It's like some weird tubing mascara. Hate it, by the way. I don't remember which of our friends told me to use this, but it's terrible, and y'all are mean. I don't like it. I can't wait to take off this mess when I get home. Okay. do you remember him having cereal? Speaking of Urkel, he had a breakfast cereal. Because, by the way, guys, in the 80s and 90s, that was the thing. You would get your own cereal for a while.
Sure.
Although I have seen it recently. Wicked has a cereal.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's still a thing.
I guess so. Okay, it was called Urkel O's. Not very creative.
What did it taste like? Was it like
I don't know.
Cheerios but Urkel O's?
I didn't eat it.
Oh, me either.
I mean, you didn't. Yeah. I mean, well, I don't think I would
For
buy
people
that.
who don't lift weights and shave every day. Eat your Urkel.
You have to hide your wang, your growing wang in your pants.
So I guess we didn't need it.
No. Okay. In 2021, though, he had a very interesting merch line he endorsed. So he reprised Steve Urkel in a promo with Snoop Dogg to launch Snoop's Purple Urkel cannabis line.
Okay. I have not seen that, but I would like to check that out.
You gotta Google it. Another fun fact, and this is my last one, and then we can chat about those episodes. Do you remember the episode with the Urkel bot?
No.
Damn it. Well, then this is going to be as exciting.
Maybe. I know. I remember one where he cloned himself.
Okay.
This is different.
Well, no, he had an Urkel bot, and it was a person in a robot costume.
Okay.
The person who embodied Urkel bot was actually somebody else in 80s famous movie world, and it was Michael Boogaloo Shrimp Chambers, aka Turbo, from Breakin' and Breakin' 2.
I was gonna say, why would a famous person become the Urkel bot? But because of the way it moved.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turbo from Breakin',
Turbo,
guys,
yeah. Okay.
was Urkel bot. That blew my Xennial mind. I was
love
like,
that.
That's so many fun things in one.
Yes.
I know.
I'm still processing what you just said.
So anyways, that's that fun fact. And those are
cool.
the end of my
All
factual information.
Let me grab my notes.
So let me grab mine. I have
Let's
2 notebooks today, and I don't remember where.
see.
I think this was Family Matters notebook. All right, guys. So let me tell you what we did. I gave Katie a list of episodes. Some of them, you'll see why we're talking about them. And then some were just fan favorites.
Okay.
So we had to watch.
Well, we had to watch the pilot.
And
Yeah.
we had to watch the horrible 2-part finale.
We didn't have to.
We
But
did.
You made
we
me.
couldn't just watch. But what I meant was you couldn't just watch part 2.
True. Very true.
Because when I looked it up, I was like, okay, with the Full House one, we could do part 2, but that one was so
Mhm.
outlandish and weird.
Had to be
You
both.
had to do both.
And I mean, look, they're 22 minutes each.
I know,
so
it's
it
easy.
was not that big a deal.
All
to
right,
watch
so
both.
the pilot episode we watched. Okay, what do you have first, and then I'll say what I said. I'll share my laugh with you in a minute, guys. Don't worry.
Okay, I just said that I loved Rachel writing on a typewriter.
Oh God, I used to love me a typewriter,
And how like her book that she was writing sounded so funny.
so crazy.
They're like, he already got eaten by a shark. You
And
can't
then-
bring him back.
I feel like her whole family apparently has read all her chapters.
Yeah.
They're like, you got to get rid of the shark.
Yeah, you got to. Or she goes, it's stinking up your book.
I know.
Rachel.
Well, I wrote that they did the whole plot line of like the mother moving in
Mm-hmm.
and inserting herself and being a problem
right off the bat.
right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
And I'm like, can you imagine though?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, what's interesting is I actually really enjoyed the episode.
Yeah, it's good.
And there was no Urkel in it.
No.
And I have nothing against Urkel, but I just was watching it and I was like, I can see like what they were going for.
Yeah.
And I've already said I love multi-generational
Yeah.
themes anyway. So I was like, this is nice. And I did think, as cheesy as it was, and it was resolved way too quickly.
Oh yeah.
But the way Carl set the boundary and like, I don't know.
Okay.
I thought it was okay.
You know what I hated the most?
What?
Is Eddie yelling at his parents at the dinner table, and then they're just like, "Oh, go talk to him." I'm like, "Oh no."
That's true. That was pretty
They
bad.
were just like, "Oh," like literally, he hollered at them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hollered, stood up,
Mm-hmm.
hollered. No.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, "Oh, go talk to him." I'm like,
That didn't even really register with me. I don't know why.
Because I just thought
like,
if I did that, oh my God, if my
Yeah.
kids did that, or if I did that to my parents, just stood up and
Mm-mm.
hollered at them, which I did. That did not, there was no, oh, let's go have a talk.
Yeah.
No,
None of that.
But also, like, another problematic thing. Well, that wasn't really problematic. I just thought that was.
You're like, no.
Eddie with the binoculars.
And then Carl's like, I'll keep these.
I know. He's peeping on a neighbor.
He's like up in the attic.
Literally with binoculars being like, oh, don't move rooms. Don't move rooms. Like, and I'm like, ew.
I know.
Gross.
And it like wasn't addressed or like, yeah, that was.
I don't like
that was really weird. And another bedroom in an attic.
Yeah.
Which later happened in Full House.
Right.
But these houses just like manifest new spaces when new people move in. There was a line where someone said, or maybe it was Eddie talking to his parents. I don't know, but they said it's almost the 90s.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's so great.
It's almost the 90s.
Oh, I said Eddie with binoculars, ?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
What you just said.
And they're like, ha ha ha, big joke. And it's like,
yeah,
no, you're a peeping Tom. My hair is still wet. Oh, I'm having a day, guys.
It's all right. My hair's allowed. I'm sure mine's been wet on an episode or 2.
It's fine.
Or 3.
It's not that deep. That's my saying as we go into the year.
Oh,
it's not that deep.
I like it.
Doesn't matter. I have a giant, enormous Mount Eruptus zit right under my face. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. Hi, yep, there it is. And then I woke up this morning to 2 more. So this is what it's like to be an adult with hormonal acne. So it's, you know what, though? It is deep, actually.
Right.
It goes very deep when you have cystic acne. But listen, I'm not going to let it ruin my day. And it is what it is.
You shouldn't.
Listen, people have acne. That's what real life looks like. And look, I've said before, if you also suffer with adult acne, I'm with you. It sucks. It's miserable because it hurts, guys. It's painful.
On top of it hurts.
It's fucking painful.
I didn't even notice it until you showed me, if that helps.
Girl, it is like the
I looked
size
right at you and I didn't even notice.
It is. I should have just painted it black and then you could have been like, look at your new mole.
Look at your movie star mole. Come on. I didn't have anything else on that one, but like you said, the whole premise is that they're setting up the rest of, they're telling us why the aunt lives there. Now there's going to be a grandmother living there and like who the children are in the home. Right. And there's a baby. Cause I feel like every sitcom you had to have a baby. And he is adorable as he gets older. I'm sure it's not the same actor. No. But, like I like that his character sticks around. Yeah. So it was basically to set all that up with this what's the word? The premise of the mother-in-law moving in and trying to take over everything. And then getting pushed back a little. Right. That.
So now we moved on to episode 11 of season 1 called The Quilt. And I was like, oh, Katie's going to be crying.
I said about a blanket.
I know. I cried too.
Yeah.
But this is a fan favorite.
Okay.
And you can see
I can see why. Yeah.
I mean, and I was like, damn, Judy was like way older.
Yeah.
Going from, and that was only 10 episodes later.
I know. I think it was so alarming to me because it was a different actress and it was like older. The same season. Right. Laura looked the same.
Right. So did Eddie.
Yeah.
And I was like, well,
whoa.
You could tell that they just kind of, I feel like Judy was just kind of like a throwaway character, obviously.
From the start.
For like her whole lore is that they didn't really need her.
Yeah.
Poor kid.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you not love that all the stuff they had for sale in the garage sale so they could buy a VCR?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
That was so great.
I loved it.
Like, I'm buying a VCR.
And I mean, I remember the day we got a VCR. Mm-hmm. Do you remember? In your house? I remember, and they were expensive. Mm-hmm. And remember how hard they were to program?
Yes.
Do you remember that?
I do.
Oh my gosh.
I still don't think I could do it now today if you ask me.
Like, we have it so easy now. We just go click, click.
Yeah. I found a voice button on my remote for the TV. So I just go, turn on Netflix, The Crown. I don't even have to like hit any little arrows, nothing. And it's like picks up where I left off.
You just now found that button?
The other day. I'm so proud of myself.
Well, you know, I don't ever use anything voice because my voice doesn't translate. I'll be like saying something dumb and they'll be like, here is Grease 2. And I'm like, I don't ever want to watch that. Like, what?
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Well, I said like when she's like got all the garage sale stuff in the living room, Laura, and she's getting organized and pricing it, so relatable that everyone's coming in and taking stuff out. Oh no,
you
this
can't
is
get rid of this.
like
Yeah.
that happens just if I'm organizing or like giving stuff away or throwing things away. I have to do it when no one's around because suddenly everyone will be like, "Oh, good, you found my broken stuffy from when I was 2 and I need it right now.
Yeah.
You can't take this." And I'm just like,
well, that happens really bad in my house because I be getting rid of everything, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I be getting rid of everything. And I get on tears where I'm like,
me too.
I can't. I just want to throw the whole house away.
Me too. Just kidding. I'm like, let's move and leave everything here.
Yes. We don't need anything.
Over.
We need nothing. But then I go on other tears where I'm like, we need all new everything. Like, I don't ever. Obviously, I don't do either one of those two things. But I'm like, I hate everything we have. Like,
oh, that's me. Mine's not a tear. Mine's consistent. I hate everything all the time. We were joking. So we made some remodels to our house a couple years ago all at once. And the book, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, my kids were making that joke about me because we got a pool, and then I was like, oh my gosh, like the landscaping's terrible, so we did that. That's and then I was like, oh my god, our house needs repainting. Look at, because now we're out here all the time, and I noticed that we repaint the house, and I'm like, oh my god, our front door is so old, so we get a new front door. And then one day, it's like my husband's last straw, I like come home and I come in, I was like, you know what, I really hate our mailbox. And he was like, that's good grief, like come on, like now we need a new mailbox. We did get one, but and it was like, you fix one thing and then well,
that's how it goes owning a home. I feel like
it does. And it never ends.
Girl, I think we have to get a new roof.
We're ready to loop back and redo now all the other things we fixed since we've been there. It's like, sucky? Yeah. Oh, new roof is the worst. The new roof is the worst. And I'll tell you why. Literally so important to have a good roof, right? Especially in Florida.
Here.
But it's so expensive and it brings you no aesthetic joy.
Right.
Like, it's not like if you landscape or paint or get new tile or get new cupboards.
And it's a mess when it's happening.
It's a mess. It's loud. And it's like, here now, $30,000 later. And you're like, thanks, I guess. Like, what?
Did your insurance pay for yours?
Oh,
see. We're having an adjuster come out to see.
Maybe
not
an
adjuster. We're having not an adjuster. One you hire for yourself, not the insurance
like
company. A private one.
Okay.
To see if they can.
Ours was passed like when it's recommended to be redone, so we needed to.
Well, ours is just a shitty roof.
Well, maybe you'll get some relief then. Maybe.
I know. I'm really,
that'd be great.
Because I think anyway, this is boring. Nobody cares about this shit.
Moving on.
All right.
Okay. So the quilt. So so then the lady comes.
Yeah, the rich lady. I said rich white ladies always be taking advantage of people.
And she buys the quilt, offers $200.
And she knew what it was when she was.
She knew what it was.
She knew.
And then in her like little shop or whatever. And it's funny because Eddie had been taking pictures.
Yeah.
From the camera he found. And he's like, oh, look, I have a picture of her getting in her car. And then, of course, Carl can track down the license plate.
Now, is that legal? He ain't supposed to do that. No, it's not.
I mean,
she didn't steal nothing. You can't just look up people's shit.
I think that stuff's public
as
record.
A cop.
Well, as a cop.
As a cop, you can't.
I just think he knew how. Like, nowadays, any of us could do it.
Right. But I'm
back
saying,
then,
like, that's abusing your power, right?
Probably.
For a personal benefit.
I mean, probably.
I don't know. That's just what I noticed.
But the lady who bought the quilt was a bad guy, not Carl, okay?
I know. He's not a bad guy. I'm just saying that is probably illegal.
Probably. And so, eventually, I did like how it let Laura shine.
I know.
Like, in the scene where, like, Carl didn't do the talking for her.
Yeah.
He was there, as he should be, but she explained, I didn't know what it was. I made a mistake. I've got your $200. Give it back to me. This is why it matters to me. And it was a little cheesy, but I was like, okay.
Well, it's a sitcom in the 90s.
Yeah, but I was like, all right,
80s.
Good. Like, how many of us would just go in there guns blazing forkheads and be like, you suck, and you took advantage of my kid and give it back. But they had her like do the talking.
Yeah, they gave her agency.
Yeah, which I really liked.
Yeah,
and it was a pretty quilt. I liked it.
Well, I cried in so much at the end when they were like talking about the family stuff, and I was like, oh my god.
She's like, and I want to give it to you.
I know.
Yeah, that was so sweet.
I know. Okay,
moving on
to season 2, episode 1, Rachel's Place, where fucking a lot happened in 23 minutes.
So much. Like, hello?
Like, Rachel. Oh my god. Okay. So like Where do we even start with this? I'm trying to think of where to start.
It was Leroy. Okay, so the place where Laura and Steve
Leroy's.
work is Leroy's.
Yeah, and then it burns down. Urkel burns it down.
Because he turns on the grill.
Okay. Which, okay.
That's a whole thing.
That burns down. Then Rachel decides she wants to buy it. She buys it. And then it's like 6 months later. I was like, wow.
And it's open. And
it's open and it's going. Yeah, and I was like, that was a lot to happen. But that is the epitome of like sitcoms of the era.
Yeah.
So much happens in 23 minutes.
So much.
So much.
Action-packed. I did say that, like, because this is the first one where I guess Steve was in the other one too, wasn't he? The quilt? Was he in the quilt? Yeah.
Yes.
Because he came over for the garage sale. So you see him a little. But this was the first one where it really made me like, it's kind of gross the way he follows Laura around.
Oh my God. I wrote, so is Urkel really just a stalker creepster?
Because like
he is.
She's saying, leave me alone constantly. And she gets a job. And then he gets a job the same place.
The whole joke was him stalking her.
Yeah.
And making her feel uncomfortable all the time.
This is the revisiting that I'm talking about.
Right.
Because I never really thought that before. I just thought, oh, Urkel, he's so silly. He likes Laura. Laura's never going to like him. And we know by the end of the series she does, which is kind of
which I don't
weird
like.
And creepy
I don't like
either.
And we'll get there.
And like, what's the lesson there?
What is the lesson?
That if you bother a woman long enough, she'll
just
eventually give up.
See?
And like, if any of my kids, son or daughter, had someone like that, and then they went and got a job, and they're like, "Hey, that person that's like keeps pursuing me now got a job, I have a job," I'd be like, "You better quit.
You better go,
or you better tell your boss or something." But it's just like, meh. And then he burns it down. He still works there. He's
like, what the fuck?
I was like, so that's the joke.
That's what we're teaching.
Yeah, and then they do it both ways because then Myra does the same thing to Urkel.
Correct. Except she don't win in the end. Urkel wins.
That's true.
She don't. Patriarchy. With stalkers.
Patriarchy. Parentheses. With stalkers.
Okay. Can I tell you that the dancing in the Leroy scene had me, the 90s dancing.
Oh man, it was so good.
It was so great.
And Eddie's like on a date.
I know.
Yeah.
I loved it. Also, I wrote, the saying, "Did I do that?" is way more annoying than I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I know what it sounds like. Apparently you do too, because your voice.
Did I do that?
Like, that is annoying. Like, he's way annoying.
I think he's supposed to be, but
like,
I don't remember being annoyed at the time.
It was like grating.
Yeah.
Like grating.
Yeah. Not grating.
Yeah.
Grating.
Yeah. I know my enunciation, because I'm Southern, can be a little off. So sometimes I have to clarify.
Right. Grating.
Katie's is good because she worked in journalism.
Sure. That's what it is.
What is happening? Okay. Oh my God. Again, my eyelash is sticking together.
You know,
guys,
somebody at home is laughing. They're like, "Oh, good, the super glue mascara that I gave Dani is working."
No, nobody gave it to me. You think somebody's punking me? Let me rip her eyelashes out. No, it's somebody told me to buy tubing mascara. Tubing. I hate it. Like, I just laughed really hard and my lashes clung. That's it. Forget you.
Coming off.
The fire scene where they're running down the street, the acting was so bad.
So bad.
Like,
yeah.
And then they're Laura's standing there like with her arms open, like totally.
That was so bad. You're right. A lot did happen in this episode.
I'm telling you.
Because also part of the episode is Rachel pitching her idea to get investors, and that was a whole storyline. I did like, and maybe this was just them, I don't know, but I liked when Carl and Harriet are talking about the money, and Harriet says, "You worked hard for that money," and he says, "We worked hard for that money." I was like, yes, good, but
correct.
And it was just a minor little thing, but I was like, that's important.
That is
to have in there, you know.
It is important.
And how Mama Winslow invested, that was funny. And
She's
then
like, "Here, blank check." I was like, "Woo, Katie, you need a Mother Winslow."
Yeah, I do. You're like, write a number. Yes.
Although your in-laws be giving y'all some good stuff a lot.
They be giving us everything.
I know.
So you kind of have my joke is like, anything nice in our house they gave us.
Which that,
like our hot tub, they gave us.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Because family members of mine, take note. Katie be getting free hot tubs,
but it's always used. But it's like they're used, which means like a hot tub they had a year. that he got in
Girl,
twice.
that's still new.
Well, that's what I'm just saying. It's not like they go to the store and buy it for us. It's something they're getting rid of.
Have they ever given you a car? They get
sort of.
They kind of cut you a deal on a house too.
One that we had when we first got married, they had given Brant before we got married.
My grandma gave me she died.
And they cut us a deal on our house. Yeah.
See,
they helped us buy our pool and our roof. I know.
My family out there. In-laws, my family. Come on. You got to compete with these Parsons.
Stay away from my gently used hot tubs, okay? Back up.
All right. So let's move on to the
I don't
next
know
one.
why I said this, but I said I forgot this storyline.
Of?
Maybe Rachel's Place? I don't know.
She said she forgot it.
I forget everything.
Forgot what she forgot.
I forgot what I forgot. I should have been a little more specific. Which storyline? That episode had like 10.
Well, that's okay.
Moving on.
All right, but let's move on because the next episode I loved a lot. And the reason we did this one is because it's a popular crossover episode.
Yes.
It's season 4, episode 1. It's called Surely You Joust.
Oh my God. Yes.
They were on American Gladiators. Oh my God.
Good.
This also, though, introduced Steve and his inventions. Steve Urkel.
Yep.
And this is the beginning of his inventions. But, oh my God. Did you used to watch American Gladiators?
Yes.
Okay, same. We need to do a whole episode on them.
We have to.
Because there's a docuseries
Ooh.
about American Gladiators.
Okay. So we should watch that and watch some like OG episodes.
It might need to be a two-parter. I think we
should docu and then the series.
I put in our notes.
Okay.
So stay tuned, guys. American Gladiators coming this year.
My dad liked that show, and that's a running theme. That if my dad liked it, we could watch it.
There is some, and I watched a lot of the docuseries like last year sometime. And guys, God, there's some fucked up stuff that happened.
I am sure.
Oh, lots of drugs.
Yeah.
Lots of performance drugs. Lots of not getting treated well.
And I'm sure just like body stuff.
Oh my God.
I can't even imagine.
Lots of
I was thinking
things.
that when I was watching this one. I was like, ooh.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, not everybody. There are a few who did not, but a lot of them did. Okay, anyway. So I love how like the beginning of the episode, they were installing a satellite dish.
Yes. On the roof.
I always wanted one. Did y'all ever have one?
No, we never had one.
My rich friends did. Remember how exciting that was? But then you'd have bad weather and like you couldn't watch TV because the satellite dish would like be whatever. Anyway, and Waldo Faldo.
I totally forgot about him.
Did you not watch this one?
I did. I don't know why I don't have any notes, but I totally forgot about him. I think I was watching this while I was getting ready for something.
I love
so I didn't take notes on it.
He's so funny.
He's so funny. And he's like yelling up the chimney.
He's like, the TV's not on. They're like, he's like, there's nothing on the picture. Like, it's not on. The worst thing about it, though, is the only joke they ever gave him was that he was kind of like ditzy.
Yeah.
But he was so funny.
He was so funny.
And the clothes, everybody's clothes.
His clothes especially. Him and Eddie, I guess. Yeah. Oh my God. So good.
I put the 90s clothes are so good. And then like, it was fun to watch American Gladiator competitions again. And remember like the gauntlet or whatever they called it. Is that what they called it? No.
I think so. Was that the like,
obstacle
final
course
thing?
thing they went through?
So.
And it was just so funny.
Yeah.
That's all I wrote.
Okay.
Then we get to season 5, episode 15, which was kind of a serious episode. This is the good cop, bad cop, which is kind of interesting that they call it that.
Yeah.
The beginning of the episode had the group Shy in it.
Oh yeah, when she's having the fantasy.
I love a good 90s group cameo.
I actually love Shy. But I did not I was like, what song is this?
I did not know that song.
I did not know that song.
I did not know that song. I do not remember that group.
And then they all like slowly turn into Steve.
Yes. I love, there were so many of those music group cameos back in the day. And they're my favorite.
It was so good. And it was like Laura was just the right age.
I know.
To be like obsessed about them and how good looking they were.
I love it. Okay. Then Eddie gets a ticket.
Eddie gets a ticket?
Yes. A speeding ticket. They talk about him getting a ticket.
Okay.
And he said Eddie got pulled over. And he's like, oh, don't worry. And Waldo was like, I think Katie fell asleep for this one. And he was like,
I thought this was one where Eddie was a cop. Is that a different one?
Girl, that's the finale.
Oh.
Did you not? Maybe you didn't watch this one.
I saw Shy though. So maybe I did fall asleep.
Well, this is kind of important.
Well, tell me what happened and I'll tell you if I watched it.
So, all right. Eddie gets pulled over.
Okay.
He had got a ticket before and didn't tell his parents about it.
Okay.
And they're like, Eddie, if you get one more ticket, I'm like, one more ticket?
Yeah.
Like, so you don't remember that? Okay.
Mm-mm. Did I watch just the opening of it?
Katie,
This is one I watched really early Saturday morning when I thought we were going to record that day. So maybe I didn't finish this one because I did the finale.
Well, this episode they address racial profiling by cops.
Nope, didn't watch it.
Jesus Christ. This is probably the most important one to talk
well,
about.
could you tell me about it and I'll listen.
No, because it's not the same.
Tell
well,
me.
how did you know Shy was in there?
I must have started it.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so, all right. Basically, Eddie's in trouble with his dad because he had already gotten pulled over and gotten 2 speeding tickets. They didn't tell him about. And they're like, if you get pulled over again, like you're getting your license pulled. Well, Eddie comes home one night and he's very upset because he did get pulled over. He's like, but I didn't do anything wrong. He's like, I wasn't speeding. I wasn't anything wrong. And this cop took me out. He told me to get out of the car. They had me on the cuffs on the ground. They said I was in the wrong neighborhood. He said I was a black kid in a white neighborhood.
Oh, dang.
Or maybe the cop said that later. So, of course, at first, like, he's trying to tell his dad, like, Dad, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. And he didn't believe him. He's like, go to your room. And he's like, the hardest thing about this is that you don't believe me. Like, this has been the worst night of my life and you don't believe what happened. So, fast forward. So, you really didn't watch this.
I really didn't. This is good storytelling.
This is
keep going.
Can't believe of all the episodes to not watch.
But I did watch when Urkel went to space.
Right. So this one was a little more important. This episode's talked about a lot because they did address Black men getting mistreated by police officers, which was not talked about a lot in primetime TV, even though it was kind of done in a roundabout way. Like, even the name of the episode is Good Cop, Bad Cop. They made it more about the individual cop and not the system as a whole.
Okay.
So,
which is pretty common then.
Of the era.
Now.
Well, and people still have that narrative. When really, I mean, like, we know that the problem is a system that needs to be changed. Of course, there's quote unquote good and bad people in all career fields.
Sure.
But the system as a whole is unjust to certain populations. Okay.
Yes.
So anyway, Carl ends up figuring out who the cops were that pulled him over and confronted him. And it was like an older guy and this younger new cop. And the cop isn't, I mean, he's like blatantly being an ass. And he's like, well, he was a black kid in a white neighborhood. What was I supposed to do? Of course I'm going to pull him over. Blah, 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 blah. Like, it's very evident he's racist. And Carl goes on a very good speech, though. And I sat there, and I mean, this was groundbreaking at the time to address this on network TV and primetime. I'm wondering how emotional it was for the actors playing Carl and Eddie to film these scenes, knowing that this is real life. And it was emotional scenes anyway, acting. You need to go back and watch it because I feel like that must have been very difficult.
Yeah.
And Carl was even saying, like, this is why I joined the police force. Like, and Eddie was like, and then he ends up coming home and telling Eddie, like, you need to go make a complaint against this cop, you know? And he's like, I don't want to, like, and he's like, well, you have a choice. You can just stay silent and move on, or you can use your voice and speak up against wrongdoings. And he's like, that's why I became a cop, like, so I can change it. And I was like, and I feel like that was kind of a roundabout way of addressing it as a whole, even though the episode was about just one cop instead of the police system.
Right.
But I mean, for the 90s, this was a big deal.
Yeah.
And I was just, the whole time I was like, that must have been very emotional for them to have to, you know, to film that. So anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to
hope you feel good about yourself now that you missed that.
I feel thoroughly shamed. Actually,
no, don't feel shamed. Don't feel shamed. It's okay. But I will say, definitely
I'll
go back and watch that.
I mean, I really pretty much enjoyed the episodes we watched, and that was what a big reminder. I know we're still going to talk about a few more, but like that was the thing when I was watching. I was like, these are pretty enjoyable. Like, they're really good.
Well, she said pretty much, guys, because we're moving on to the last two
We are here.
And it was the 2-part season finale, Lost in Space.
Part
where,
1 and
yes,
part 2.
You were right. Someone gets lost in space, and his name is Steve Urkel. And it is the worst TV I have watched in so long.
So this then was the
series finale.
The series finale. So this was on CBS.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
And it is so bad.
It's really bad. I'm not blaming CBS. I was just trying to like get my like bearings on.
I mean, we could
was.
probably blame them. We probably can.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, and like the whole premise is like they're getting married soon, but then Steve is the first student, which first of all, then I had to like recalibrate my brain. I'm like, student, how old are they? But he was 21, so they must have meant college student.
Yes, he was a college student.
First college or student in space was going to be his program, and he was going to go and and whatever and they were taking an invention of his, but then whatever invention they took like malfunctioned, which then he had to try to go fix, but then he got left behind in space.
I mean, he was out in the space, guys.
Like out in space.
Fixing something on a roof of a spaceship. I don't know. They have roofs. I don't know.
Something outside.
Listen, all I wrote down for these 2 episodes was 3 things. You ready to hear it?
I'm ready.
First thing is, WTF is the storyline. The second thing I wrote was, this Harriet energy is not equal to the OG Harriet.
Yep.
And the last thing I wrote was, is this the 1970s spaceship?
What did I write? I didn't write much. Oh, okay. You ready? Hard to get used to new Harriet. Forgot they decided to get married. Son touring with Beauty and the Beast. The one cop's wife says that.
Oh, and she's like it's so terrible. I'm like, that's a big fucking deal, lady.
I'm like, I'd be so. She's like, he's the lead fork.
And I'm like, the lead fork? That's the best utensil.
That's the best one. And they call Steve an irritating genius. I wrote that down. And
Same
then
can be said of us, guys.
And then for like the part 2, when he's like, so first of all, they're watching it all unfold, including his fiance on TV.
Like, it's like 24/7 on TV.
And also like, wouldn't she be like in Houston? Like, why are you watching it from your TV in Chicago? Wouldn't you be like there, like getting live updates on like your fiance? And I just said Laura was not very panicked.
Oh, I know.
She's
like,
watching.
Guys, Steve is lost.
Yes, and then
they're like,
and then she's watching
this.
the TV, and she's like, "Come back to me safe, Steve." I'd be like pacing, climbing the wall.
I would be hysterically crying.
I'd be like, me too. Like someone would be like, no.
They'd be like, get this lady a Xanax.
But I mean, devil's advocate, maybe that's just showing how much faith she has in
Girl,
Steve.
no, it's just bad writing. It's bad writing.
I was just like, so Laura, just like the rest of the world, is just gathered around her TV. Like, even though this is her
watching a college student.
And then Myra pops into the capsule for a second, and then they kick her out. I don't know. It was not good. And I will tell you, I really liked the pilot. I really liked the quilt episode. The Rachel's Place was fine. I mean, whatever. You know what's interesting? The pilot didn't have Steve, and I loved it. The quilt one didn't have a lot of Steve.
Right.
And I loved it. Rachel's Place was And then it sounds like The Good Cop, Bad Cop, which I'm sure Steve was in.
He was.
I probably would have. So that was the one with the satellite dish?
Yeah.
On the roof? Oh, I don't know where I went astray.
You probably fell asleep.
I probably did.
Katie fell asleep for the important part of the episode.
Yeah. But it sounds like one I would like. So all that to say, I love J.L. White, and I love that, like, you know, he created this iconic character that a lot of us can like connect to on a nostalgic level. And, you know, he is a Black man, and like we don't necessarily always see the same, especially from that time period, the same kind of breakout stars that we maybe would have seen, because there wasn't as many opportunities for that to happen. But I like the show better without Urkel.
Well, I will tell you, you're not alone in that, because a lot of like Reddit threads I went down and like looking up blogs and all the things. One of the funniest things I saw was like a random fan Facebook post from years ago that was like, what are your favorite Family Matters episodes? And one guy wrote, everything without Steve Urkel.
Really? Because it's the premise is great.
Well, I don't think he's wrong as a character.
No.
I think he's wrong as a main character.
Okay.
And and I think the episodes where because when you have a cast like that, that's so big, everybody gets little moments. Like, you know, like Laura had the spotlight and the quilt, and like give him a few spotlights here and there, but when it just became about him,
That's
and basically
what
it was.
And even if you had him in every episode a little, just for some comic
Yeah.
relief, but for it to all become his storyline, like the season finale or the series finale
Was
are
about
about
Urkel.
him.
Yeah. And that's not Family Matters.
No,
that's the Steve Urkel show.
Like, yeah, like I was telling Dani before we started recording that I was talking to someone about this episode, and my friend, and she was like, "Oh, yeah, the Steve Urkel show." I'm like, "Well, it's Family Matters." She's like, "Yeah, but didn't he have his own show?" I'm like, "No, it's the same show."
Right. So if they wanted, yeah, I don't know. So I think that, and it's not to his fault. He did exactly what they asked him to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He's playing the character they asked him to play, and he got a paycheck, but they messed up. They messed up writing.
I agree with that. But they messed up all the way to the bank because this show was on for freaking 9 seasons.
And we're still talking about it.
And $40 million for it to move networks. I mean, come on.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. And we're still talking about it. But I enjoyed it. Thank you for doing that research.
Yeah, she enjoyed what she watched, guys.
I enjoyed, which was a lot. You gave me 5 or 6 episodes.
No, it's a lot, but they're short.
Yeah, they were short.
I mean, they're 20-something minutes.
I actually thought that when we watched Full House. I missed one on Full House, too. So I should just selectively pick one each week.
Yeah, because you didn't watch Fuller House. No, to be fair, you did see it. It just, you didn't rewatch it.
That's true. I have seen that
one. I had never watched it.
Good point.
You also have never watched this episode.
True. not Saturday, not back in 1996 or whenever it was.
But definitely go back and watch it because it's a good one. And I think you'll see what I'm talking about. Like, see why it's on a lot of people's lists. So.
All right, good.
Well, that brings us to the end.
And we'll have some more. I know we're still going to be delving into Perfect Strangers step by step.
And that's it.
Talked about. I might do Boy Meets World. Because I did watch that one a little, and they've got a whole like podcast and stuff. There's a lot of lore there.
Well, we need to go ahead and say our friend Sarah and listener girl called me out on text. She was like, "Excuse me, Dani, you were of the age for Boy Meets World. It came out in this year, and I swear I just remember it being older." So then we had this whole text thread. Katie's working and probably saw 1,800 texts.
It was like 32 texts, and I was like, "What
and
are they going on about?"
She's like,
now?
"This was the year it came out. You were right at the right age. They are our age." Which, granted, I know even if they're our age, you can film something for younger audience. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm like, I guess I was already moved on. Like, I don't know.
I think we could do Mr. Belvedere too. I think that might be fun.
Well, we'll see where we land.
We'll see where we land.
Girl, we got to get through.
We got 2 more. We got for sure Step by Step and for sure Perfect Strangers.
For sure.
All right. So we'll see you guys back here on our TGIF series and for every episode of Generation in Between, a Xennial Podcast. See you soon.
Bye.